We often see the big headlines, the flashy product launches, but when you look at the brands that are really dominant, I always wonder what's happening sort of behind the curtain? What's the secret sauce?
Yeah, that's a great question.
So today we're doing a deep dive into something I find fascinating.
Hmm.
Invisible innovation. It's not the big announcements, it's more like the quiet, subtle improvements that really build up their power over time.
Precisely. And our mission today is really to unpack how some of these giants think Apple, Google, Amazon, Netflix, even Starbucks, how they gain and maintain that dominance through these, well, often completely unannounced refinements.
Looking beyond the obvious stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Seeing the power in what's not being shouted about.
Okay, so let's dig into that. When we say invisible innovations, we're not just talking about like tiny bug fixes, are we? Or is there something more strategic going on?
Oh, definitely more strategic. What's really fascinating is that these aren't just minor tweaks to a product. They function as strategic assets. They actually reshape industries, change customer expectations, all without a big press release.
Right. Okay, like Apple, maybe. You obviously notice the new iPhone model each year.
Sure.
But their real strength, it seems, comes from things they spent years perfecting, like haptic feedback. Making a virtual button click feel real.
That tactile response.
Yeah. Or think about their A-series chips. Year after year, they get better, optimizing performance across the whole ecosystem. But it's not always the main selling point. It just works better.
And it compounds.
Even their stores. I read they have patented glass designs and, super precisely calibrated lighting. It's everywhere.
That's a perfect example. And if you connect that idea, Google is just a master of this. We all feel search getting better, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But most people don't realize that's the result of maybe hundreds of unannounced algorithm changes every single year. They're constantly refining how the system understands what you actually mean, your intent.
Wow, hundreds.
And Google Maps, too. Traffic predictions get better, locations get more accurate, but there's no fanfare. It just improves.
That is wild. And Amazon, of course, they're legendary for logistics, but it's more than just fast delivery, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's not just the speed. They have systematically optimized every single piece of the fulfillment puzzle. Warehouse layouts, how things are packaged.
I heard about their warehouse system. Looks chaotic, but it's all math, right?
Exactly. Mathematically optimized inventory placement. And think about the website. Thousands, maybe tens of thousands of A/B tests running all the time for tiny, tiny gains in conversion, incrementally improving everything.
Speaking of user experience, that brings me to Netflix. How on earth do they keep us glued to the screen?
The recommendation engine. That's a huge piece of invisible innovation right there.
It feels like magic sometimes.
It does. But it's algorithms constantly learning, constantly refining based on what you watch, what others watch, the characteristics of the content itself. It's all happening behind the curtain. They even worked with ISPs, internet providers, putting specialized servers closer to users to make streaming smoother. Again, invisible, but improves the experience.
Okay, so it's tech, it's logistics, but even something like grabbing coffee. Starbucks.
Yes, even Starbucks. Their mobile ordering system wasn't just launched, it was continuously refined.
How so?
Think about store layouts redesigned for efficient mobile pickup, or the algorithms managing the order queue so your wait time is minimized. It feels seamless now, but that took iteration.
And I heard even the music is optimized.
Absolutely. Carefully curated playlist, refined based on data about how music affects customer mood, and maybe even purchasing behavior. You don't consciously notice, but it's influencing the environment.
Okay, so pulling this all together, what's the big strategic advantage here? Why does this matter so much?
Well, it provides some really unique competitive edges. One huge factor is the compounding effects.
Compounding effects.
Oh.
Like interest.
Sort of, yeah. Imagine making 1,000 tiny 1% improvements across your entire operation. Individually, they seem insignificant, but together, they stack up to create these massive transformative advantages that competitors find almost impossible to catch up with.
That makes sense. These small things add up to something huge, but couldn't a competitor just start copying those 1% things if they figured them out?
That's where the next piece comes in.
Yeah.
defensive moats.
Okay.
The real power, the real defensibility, doesn't come from any single one of those changes. It comes from how they all interconnect and work together as a complex system.
Like a what?
Exactly like a web. Try to copy it piece by piece doesn't work because you miss the whole structure. It makes it incredibly difficult, almost impossible, for others to truly reverse engineer or replicate the overall advantage.
Okay, that's really interesting. And there's another piece too, right, about us, the users.
Yes, critically.
Yeah.
User habituation.
Ridiculous.
Because these improvements are gradual, often unnoticed, we adapt to them seamlessly. We just get used to things working better or faster. This builds really strong preferences and loyalty, often without us even realizing why we prefer one service over another. There's no friction, no resistance to the
So
change,
you just get used to the magic.
pretty much. And this is how these companies build such incredibly loyal customer bases.
And looking ahead, with AI and machine learning becoming more powerful.
Exactly. The ability to orchestrate and manage thousands, maybe millions, of these tiny, continuous, automated enhancements across huge, complex systems.
Yeah.
That ability itself is likely going to be the defining thing for market leaders in the future.
Wow. So the next time you're, easily finding something on a website, or your map navigates you perfectly around traffic, or you just have a really smooth experience somewhere, maybe take a second.
Pause and think about the invisible work, the hidden innovations that made it feel so effortless.
Because these quiet changes, the ones hiding in plain sight.
They are very often the real engines driving market dominance.
We've really peeled back some layers today on the power of what you don't always see. What aspect of this invisible world really stands out to you?